Historic figures everyone should know. By history as biography. Filippo Brunelleschi was an Italian architect and engineer who lived in the early 15th century. He is most famous for his work on the dome of the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, also known as the Duomo, in Florence. This dome was a feat of engineering that was previously thought to be impossible to construct, and it remains one of the most iconic landmarks of the city to this day. Brunelleschi was born in 1377 in Florence, Italy. He was trained as a goldsmith, and this experience would later prove to be invaluable in his architectural work. He was also a skilled artist, and his talents in these areas helped him to visualize and plan out his complex projects. Brunelleschi's first major project was the design and construction of the Ospedale degli Innocenti, a hospital for abandoned children in Florence. This building was notable for its innovative use of pointed arches and barrel vaults, which allowed for a higher level of structural stability and more efficient use of space. But it was his work on the Duomo that cemented Brunelleschi's place in history. The cathedral had been under construction for over 100 years when he began working on it in the early 1400s, and the problem of how to build a dome that would cover the entire structure had stumped all previous architects. Brunelleschi came up with a unique solution, using a double shell design with an inner and outer dome that were supported by a series of horizontal and vertical ribs. He also used a system of hoists and pulleys to lift the heavy stone blocks into place, a technique that he had developed while working on the Ospedale degli Innocenti. Construction of the dome took over a decade, and it was completed in 1436. It was a massive undertaking that required the collaboration of many skilled workers and craftsmen, and it is a testament to Brunelleschi's leadership and vision that it was completed successfully. Brunelleschi's contributions to architecture and engineering were not limited to the Duomo. He also designed and built the Ponte Vecchio, a bridge over the Arno River in Florence that is still in use today. He also worked on the Basilica of San Lorenzo, where he designed the octagonal dome and the old sacristy, a small chapel that is considered one of the first examples of Renaissance architecture. Brunelleschi's work had a significant impact on the development of architecture in the Renaissance. He was a pioneer in the use of linear perspective, which allowed for more realistic and accurate depictions of space in art and architecture. He also introduced the use of mathematical principles and geometric forms in his designs, which helped to create a more harmonious and balanced aesthetic. In addition to his architectural achievements, Brunelleschi was also an inventor and innovator. He is credited with designing the first practical perspective camera obscura, a device that is still used by artists and photographers today. He also created a machine for grinding lenses, which was a major step forward in the development of eyeglasses. Filippo Brunelleschi was a brilliant and talented individual who made lasting contributions to the fields of architecture and engineering. His work on the Duomo remains an iconic symbol of the city of Florence, and his innovations and techniques continue to influence architects and designers to this day.